This is the men's 5,000 meter run high performance. Standard to get in, USA's 13:32 even. On our sheet right here, we have the IAAF auto at 13:22.6. Daniel Herrera will be your pacer through 5, maybe 6 laps. Get things done, 64 seconds a lap. And of course, Galen Rupp, fresh off a rust buster over 10K last week, will continue to sharpen up here in front of a hometown crowd. A nice and easy 35-second first 200 for that group. So they'll obviously kind of lean into this one. But Herrera out running by himself. And I think that's Luc Boucher up in front, leading that group that will include, well, we'll just get down the list. Luc Boucher, Andrew Cawley, who just about a dozen or so seconds off the standard last week. Matthew Crow, Kenneth Foster, Jesse Hooten, Dan Kremski, Cam Levins on the start list, Kieran Lum, Ben Raniero, Galen Rupp, Joseph Tessema, Jackson Thomas, and Carlos Trujillo. Your field. And again, Herrera scheduled to take everybody through in 64 seconds, and no one biting. And you've got Jackson Thomas up there with Galen Rupp and Luc Boucher. And so they'll try to settle in. Be a nice little cut down, I think, for Galen Rupp. A lot of athletes queuing off of him early. And so we'll get a bead on Herrera here. He was supposed to go through in 2:08, so obviously he's still got to do his job. It's up to the rest of the field. And Cam Levins is in that field. He's just wearing a Canada kit as the 2:18 through 800 meters. So things are going to have to speed up just a little bit. I think they're going to wind this up very slowly. Herrera still doing his job. So you got the discrepancy there between the chase pack and the Pacers. And again, you know, you get paid to do one thing and it's up to the field to do another. And so you see Cam Levins out. He's at the very back of that pack in red, black, and white. Obviously just chilling. So there's something afoot here with the instructions for a lot of these racers, just to kind of maybe treat this like it's championship conditions and really finish strong. Levins very content to be at the back of that group that's, you know, for these athletes running very pedestrian right now. If you take those 69, 68-second laps and you push them out, that's really only a 14:10. And so, again, 3:27, so consistent 69-second laps up front for these athletes. Herrera continuing to clip off something in the range of 64, 65 seconds up front. But you see Rupp chilling on the inside there. Luc Boucher of Canada in the lead there. And again, Cam Levins, the other big name to really look after, chilling towards the back. Andrew Cawley in that mix as well. So again, 13:32, and this is, you got to understand, for a lot of these athletes, 6:18. So June 18th is the final date for qualifying. So a lot of athletes have this on their calendar as really the last big race to try to hit these standards. We've seen a lot of near misses here today. We've also seen some very close successes where they're just able to eke out pretty much everything out of it. 4:36, so we're still at 69-second laps, 14:15 pace, 14:20 pace up front. That's why you've got the entire field, which with a variety of abilities, most of them sitting around that 14-10 range. Everyone's still in the picture. So Luke Boucher just be content to be on up front. .510 with 7 laps remaining. Herrera still time trialing there out in front, and then we have a switch of the lead, and I think a switch of paces a little bit. We're going to see a break from the back, and it'll be interesting to see if Cam Levins can go with it. You're never really too sure about fitness of some of these athletes until it comes to championship racing time. Really all about places for a lot of these folks as we're at 5:43, so stuff has ticked on down just a little bit. 67 that lap. The field's starting to string out. And so Tessima, Joseph Tessima, your leader. Trujillo up there as well. Rupp been in the front since the gun. Tessima, U.S. athlete, ran 13:59 last week. So this is right in his wheelhouse right here. This is why you got, again, you got a lot of guys in that 14 flat, 14-10 range still hanging around, and be interested to see what this cut down is like, if at all. And so now we're at 6:52 for these athletes, slowed back down again. And so we're going to be, here we are at 2,500 meters, and we're at 7:09. And if you had talked to me before the broadcast and told me it was going to be this slow, despite the rabbit going out in the 64s, I wouldn't have believed you. I don't think a lot of people would have. So obviously, Rupp going to focus on the 10K this year on the track. And he'll just get a little pacing exercise out of this, maybe with a strong finish. Seems to be the plan. Now, Luke Boucher also in there, and you got Cam Levins, who's now moved himself into 7th place in the Canada kit, now moving into 6th. And so you got maybe some frustrated athletes in here who came to expect that they'd chase a USA time, and well, that's just not going to happen. So instead, we're going to see Galen Rupp here for 5,000 meters to dictate the pace. Do a little above and beyond workout for him, as Cam Levins now has easily pushed that gap. And it looks like we've got Ben Raniero of Let's Run up there as well. Some gaudy uniforms. But there's Rupp. Absolutely relaxed, focused. Tessima on his shoulder. Cam Levins, and now the rest of the field. Things have slowed down to the point where the rest of the field, you thought they were gone. And here's a big move. Big move. Kenneth Foster of U.S. Army. I think he's done playing games at this point, and we're going to have a second break from the field, and he's going to get some time up front. So Kenneth Foster and the Army kit will push batters with 1,600 meters to go. And we have 8 athletes all in tow. 9:43. So 9:43, 1,600 meters remaining. So again, Kenneth Foster from Army pushing the pace here, making the trip over. 31 years old, did a personal best at Brian Clay of 14:26. And so now he's up in front, trying to get a personal best. So run 2:19 for the marathon down at Sacramento. That Cal International course, quite fast. And now you have, pushing up front is Luc Boucher. We're gonna get to some tactics here, folks. 3 laps remaining. Cam Levins in 5th. Ben Renero of Let's Run in 4th. What a bizarre race here to end the Stumptown Twilight. And Renero, you're looking at his qualifications here. He's run 8 flat indoors for 3,000 meters. So this is in his wheelhouse here. His personal best of 14:04. He did that at Princeton last season. So he's got some finishing speed. 4:04 miler to boot. And he's in that final 4. Renero's running with Boucher, Rupp, and Levins as the hammer has come down. The rest of the field out the back. So Kenneth Foster got things ignited, and now we're into the long, slow burn here with 800 meters to go. 11:55. Cam Levins looking so relaxed out the back. It'll be interesting to see what kind of juice he has left. Luc Boucher, he might have some of the better finishing speed of the 3 left up front. He's ran, especially just considering Rupp's coming off of some marathon preparation, some half marathon stuff. 10K debut of the season last week. Boucher's gotten a lot of miles and 1500s under his belt so far this racing season. Renero still hanging around in 3rd. It would be a huge run for him. Rupp. Cue the Jaws music. When is he going to strike? It might be now. Galen Rupp, the biggest fish in the pond, is going to put on an exhibition here the last 400, I think. 12:58. Keep an eye on the clock. You've got Cam Levins at 13:03. Just how impressive can this last 400 be? What type of championship condition is Galen Rupp in? And Rupp, Renero, dropping Boucher. Oh my goodness. This will be a career day for Ben Renero. And then there goes Rupp. 200 meters to go. We're at 13:26. Oh my goodness. Galen Rupp going supersonic. 100 meters to go, and Galen Rupp, the question is answered. Is Galen Rupp in championship form? The answer is yes. Huge last lap. Jogs it across the finish line, 13:54. Wow. Renero and Boucher, not too bad of a finish themselves. Cam Levins pushing through the line, will be overtaken for 4th. And the rest of the field feasting on PRs. Cam Levins faced the 5th in 14:10. Wasn't able to change gears there, but the story is Galen Rupp. One heck of a finish. Looking so relaxed, really, the last 300. A nice controlled race situation for the Olympic medalist. that will wrap up Stumptown 2017. Your final results coming in. Rupp with the win, 13:54.